Namaste, hello and welcome back to another video on Hamsavahini Vajraasthra. I'm Awhona. Today's video is going to be about my pile of possibilities for Dragonathon 2022. Now, Dragonathon 2022 is a brand new readathon which has been created by Courtney from TheBookNookCorner, and I will leave her announcement video in the description box below as well as in the overhead cards above for all of you to cross-check. She has also created the DragonRider Book Club, which is starting, of course, this June, and she has already announced the picks for this month. And I'll also leave a link to that particular video in the description box below and in the overhead cards above. So in case if you are a dragon lover and if you would like to read about dragons, you definitely can join in. So let's start with my ambitious pile of possibilities for this readathon. So do please join me further in this video. So now let's come down to the books that I plan on reading. Now, there are various sections for this particular readathon. It's absolutely fun-filled. So there are 10 prompts, and I've tried to double on them so that I can read more books for the second section as well, which is to raise your own dragon. Coming to the prompts, there are 10 prompts as I mentioned earlier, and what I've tried to do is couple up on them. So I'm coupling up prompt number 1 and prompt number 7, which is prompt number 1 is to read a book with red or fire on the cover, which is the fire breathing dragon, and prompt number 7 is a thrill of a dragon, which is to read an anticipated read. So for this I have chosen to read Dragon Lore and Love, Isis and Osiris by N.D. Jones. Now I'm not too sure if people have come across this book, but this is the first time that I've actually stumbled across it, and there's fire on the cover, and I am quite looking forward to reading this because I hope it's going to be at least a 4.5-star read. So the synopsis sounds very interesting. So from the back of the book, it reads as: life, death and rebirth, Isis and Osiris's future hinges on all the three. A century ago, the dragon kingdom of Namaste was lost to darkness. Invaded by the demon hordes hell-bent on stealing two powerful scepters, the demon king claimed the preternatural realm as his own. To survive, the dragons fled their beloved home and sought refuge in the human realm. Having lived most of their lives in human form, Queen Isis and rock dragon Osiris, mere children during the Great Exodus, find themselves clinging to their culture and ties that bind what's left of the dragonkind. Safe and assured that they are free from the threat of demons, their love flourishes. Yet, on one horrific night, their lives are shattered by tragedy and betrayal. They learn that no realm is beyond the brutal reach of the Demon King. So the plot sounds very interesting, specifically because both Isis and Osiris are actually dragons who are shape-shifting into human beings to hide the last of their dragon kind. So I do have high hopes for this book, so let's see where I get from here. So that's the first book that I'm reading for prompt number 1 and prompt number 7. Now the next book that I'm reading is the group read book, which is A Court of Dragons by K. Frost, I believe. I do have all the information in front of me. So I'm not too sure. I'll just, I hope it is K Frost. But I have coupled this up with another prompt. So the prompt number 2 is Dragon Buddies Read the Group Book, which is A Court of Dragons. And prompt number 4 is Dragons with Teeth. So read a book with a weapon on the cover. And this book does have a weapon on the cover, which I discovered recently. So the basic synopsis of this book is that as the daughter of the Dragon Court, Ren holds 3 truths: never show weakness, pay the teeth, and never trust the elves. When the enemy strikes on the eve of her wedding, Ren has no choice but to fight. Captured, she is dragged before the elvish king and given 2 choices: death or marriage. She submits, biding her time as she plots and spies, determined to strike at the heart of the elvish royalty and take back her family's throne once more. But the more time she spends with a dangerous and achingly handsome husband, she finds herself wavering. Only the strong survive the harsh moves of the Dragon Isles, and she can't afford to question her loyalties, leaving her only one final choice: strike hard and fast, never waver. It's his heart or hers. So it's a very interesting plot, and I'm really very happy to that this is the group book. So that's the next book that I'll be reading. Now the next 2 prompts which I have tried to couple up are prompts number 5 and prompt number 9. Now prompt number 5 is A Dragon a Few Words, which is to read a book with a 1-word title, and prompt number 9 is A Dragon with Many Colors, read a book with over 400 pages. So for this I have chosen to read Given by Nandi Taylor, and I absolutely love the cover of the book. And from the back of the book it reads as: Fierce warriors, fiery magic, fated love. Yenny is a fierce princess, but her father is sick with a wasting illness, and she must find the cure. Should she fail, she faces losing her father and exile from her home in the kingdom of Yerba. With only her wits, strength, and sacred rune law to protect her, she must travel the strange, magical, and unwelcoming empire of Kresh. And no one warned her about the dragons, especially not about Weish. Weish is a shapeshifter, sometimes a man and other times a dragon. When he claims Yenny as his given, his destined partner, they are tied together by the bonds of fate. Yenny is no man's or dragon's plaything, but other magic must be at work, because despite everything that she thought she knew, Weish might just be her best hope to save her father and her home in the kingdom. So it's a very interesting plot, and that's the next book that I'm reading for prompt number 5 and prompt number 9. Now for the next 2 prompts which I have coupled up, which is prompt number 3, Dragons Battle It Out, read a book with a competition, and prompt number 10, which is Hold Your Dragon, read an overhyped book. So for this I have chosen Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire, and this was an excellent opportunity for me to visit the Harry Potter series again. And the last 2 prompts are prompt number 6, which is Be One with the Dragons, read a book with Dragon Riders, and prompt number 8, which is Blood, Sweat and Tears, read a book with training and fighting. So for this I did pick up Eragon by Christopher Paolini, and I don't need to mention anything about it. It is the book on dragons. So these are the 5 books that I plan on reading for the 10 prompts that Courtney has created. Now let's come down to the other section, which is to train or raise your own dragon. Now for raising my own dragon, I have not specifically picked out any of the elements as yet. So most probably if I complete and get through all these 5 books over here, I'll probably be categorizing 4 books within raising a fire dragon from a hatchling, and because there's lots of competition and there's lots of red in the covers, etc. Now I will try and raise a water dragon as well. So the first book that I'm reading for this is Jane Austen's Dragon, Pemberley, Mr. Darcy's Dragon by Maria Grace. Now this is a series which I'd come across 2 years ago, and of course I don't own all the books of the series, but then I do own a few of them, and I plan on completing them with this readathon. So from the back it reads as: It is a truth universally acknowledged that a single man in possession of a good fortune must be in want of a dragon. Fitzwilliam Darcy of Pemberley has the good fortune to be in possession of the first English fire drake egg laid in a century, or at least he was until some miscreant stole it. Mr. Darcy traces the or tracks the thief to Hertfordshire. Catching the thief, however, proves to be an entirely different kettle of brimstone, especially when he encounters fellow dragon keeper Miss Elizabeth Bennet of Longbourn. Elizabeth Bennet's deep connection to dragons and remarkable grasp of their love make her the ideal companion for finding the egg. It's too bad that from their introduction she finds Darcy arrogant, connected, and selfishly disdainful of the feelings of others. Time is running out for Darcy to win Elizabeth's trust and recover the precious egg before it hatches, and the fragile peace between humans and dragons is lost forever. Merited meets Pen in fantastical Regency romp bound to delight readers of Jane Austen and Anne McAfee alike. So this is a variation, of course, but it's Jane Austen and I'm a Jane Austen fan. So yes, that's the first book for Raising My Dragon. Now for Raising My Dragon has already hatched from his egg, and the second phase of the water dragon is the fledgling water dragon. So for this, I am reading a proper introduction to dragons, which is book 4 in the Jane Austen series, and I absolutely love it. Love the cover. It suits the entire fledgling water dragon concept. So from the back, it reads as, "Nobody has any compassion for dragon lore except Thomas Bennet's nerves. He was reconciled to the fact he was father to some of the silliest girls in the country. However, he had suspected for some time that little Elizabeth was different. When she befriended the old tarsal worm in the woods, he was convinced. As much as her father might rant and storm about the need for secrecy and expect that to be the end of it, Elizabeth cannot contain her curiosity about all things dragonic. Nor would it seem could she stem the development of a unique and prodigious talent for bonding with the creatures. When Elizabeth discovers an abandoned clutch of fairy dragon eggs, Mr. Bennet finds an unhappy alternative before him. Somehow he must save the dragon eggs, content with the jealous estate dragon, and keep it all hidden from his family, or risk exposure of England's greatest secret and breaking the Pendragon Treaty that keeps the tenuous peace between man and dragon. And through it all, can he help his precious, passionate daughter find her place in a dangerous world that has little tolerance for little girls?" So that's the 4th of the series of the Jane Austen Dragon. So that is the book that I'm reading for the fledgling phase. Now for the ceremony phase for the water dragon, the next book that I'm reading is North Abbey and Angels and Dragons, and this is a retelling of Northanger Abbey. Of course it does have dragon lore in it as well. So from the back it reads as, "Dragon in the skies of Regency England. Gothic horrors collide with high satire in this elegant, hilarious, witty, insane, and unexpectedly romantic supernatural parody of Jane Austen's classic novel. Young and naive Catherine Morland is constantly surrounded by angels only she alone can see. Leaving her country home for the first time to embark on a grand adventure that begins in fashionable Bath, our romantic heroine must not only decrypt the mystery of the Udolpho Code, but win her true love, Henry Tilney. Meanwhile, she is beset by all the Gothic horrors known to impressionable young ladies: odious demons, Regency balls, elusive ghosts, pleasure excursions, temperature-changing Nephilim, secret clues, ogre suitors, and a terrifying ancient dragon who has very likely hidden a secret treasure hoard somewhere in the depths of Northanger Abbey. So I really love the cover of the book. I love the concept of the entire twist in the story and the retelling, and so that will be the book which I'll be reading for the ceremonial phase of the of raising the water dragon. Now the book which I have chosen to read for the Master Water Warrior Dragon is called Dragon Horse by Peter Ward, and I absolutely love the cover of the book. It's actually beautiful, and from the back, or in fact from the jacket of the book, it reads as, "The sleeping dragon awakes. Eons ago, winged dragons spread terror across the Chinese Empire. Their descendants, magnificent horses, bred and ridden by the wild horsemen, are known as dragon horses. But now as an ancient evil is stirring, and two brothers, Rokshan and Anlushan, are about to be drawn into the battle, Rokshan must travel to the valleys of horsemen and on the plain of dead, where the great stallion Stargazer, Lord of the Horses, is waiting for him, while his brother Anlushan chooses a different path entirely, rich, vibrant, and full of myths and flavors of old imperial China. Dragon Horse will introduce you to the glory of the dragon horses and the majesty of the oriental dragons. And this is a very thick book, so I just hope that I'll be able to finish it this month. And I absolutely love the cover. It's holographic as well. So that's the last book that I'll be reading for the Dragon Warrior Master Phase. Now, two extra books which I have kept in reserve, and that's because in case if I finish all these, then I probably will try and get a sneak peek into these two books. One of them is the Penguin Book of Dragons, and this book is supposed to be filled with mythology and lore of dragons from all across the world, and there are legends and stories and myths which are all compiled in one. And from the back it reads as: the most popular mythological creatures in human imagination, dragons have provoked fear and fascination for their lethal venom and crushing coils, and as avatars of the Antichrist, servants of Satan, couriers of the damned to hell, portents of disaster, and harbingers of the last days. Here are accounts spanning millennia and continents, including their origins in the deserts of Africa, the struggles in their mortal enemies with their mortal enemies, elephants in the jungles of South Asia, which I never knew that elephants were enemies of dragons, because I do love both of them, and the fear of lightning, the dragon in Beowulf, who inspired Smaug in Tolkien's The Hobbit, the supernatural feathered dragon of ancient Mesoamerica, and a flatulent dragon the size of Trojan horse from the dark halls of the Lonely Mountain to the blue skies of Westeros. We expect dragons to be gigantic reptilian predators with massive bat-like wings who wreak havoc defending the golds they have hoarded. But dragons are full of surprises, as this book is. So I'm not too sure if this is a non-fiction work or not, or maybe it's a comparative fiction where legends are compared and myths are scrutinized. But I'll see if I can get my hands on I'll see if I can get through this book towards the end of this month, in case if I finish the rest of this. So those are the few books that I plan on reading. Have you read any of these books, or do you plan to read any of them? Did you find some of them interesting? I would like to hear more from you in the comment section below. So do please leave your comments and your thoughts about this video. And if you really do like this video, please do not forget to click the like button, as well as click on subscribe and hit the bell icon for further notifications of future uploads from this channel. So that's all I have for you today. I will be back next week with another video, so do please stay tuned and have a good reading week ahead, and namaste.